I'm actually joined now with George Bostock out of Hawke's Bay. George, you'd be a bit of a Reece Darby fan, are you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Reece. Yeah.
I went to one of his concerts. What do you call them when that's a comedian? Stand up in Dunedin in the Regent Theatre. And oh, golly gosh, he is a very funny man. One of our best exports, I think. Hey, we're also talking tonight about what is the product that defines us as New Zealanders, and you can't say chicken. Is
Yeah,
that unfair?
yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, yeah. When you think of New Zealand meat, you probably don't think of chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people coming through saying clearly that lamb is a real standout. Now, of course, we are speaking to George Bostock here now, who has one half of the organic chicken empire known as Bostock's Chicken. And it's risen up amongst the family apple orchards. And of course, today they've taken out a very prestigious award, the 2020 Outstanding New Zealand Food Awards. Now, these animals have a fantastic diet on Granny Smith's bugs, grass, and organic maize. Initially established by George's brother Ben Bostock 5 years ago, they're supplying organic free-range chickens to butchers, supermarkets, and pre-COVID-19, of course, restaurants. So on behalf of all our audience, I want to say, George, congratulations to yourself, your brother, and your team. How does it feel on today's win?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, it feels great. We've worked so hard over the last 5 years to create something really different and unique, and it's so good that it's been endorsed by 25 of New Zealand's top food experts.
Oh, we've got some coming through already. Vicky Oliver says they're brilliant products. If you want to show your love for the Bostock Chicken, please put it in the comments below. I know my sister Ellie is a big fan. It's always turning up in our fridge. I don't get to go shopping much these days, George. It's quite a busy old time running this show.
So thank you very much, Ellie.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, I just wanted to say you've achieved a lot, both for yourself and your brother. I mean, I'm assuming you're of young age by your youthful look there we can see on screen. Tell us about the journey.
So we're a small business, but we're a vertically integrated business. So Ben looked to do free range chickens, and then once he saw how the free range chickens were grown in New Zealand, he thought that's not actually how they're portrayed to the consumer. So and then he went to France and had a look at the French chickens over in France, and they do an amazing job with their La Ville Rouge and their slow-grown chickens. And so he took that idea and brought it back to New Zealand, and I joined the business about a year later. So we're a small but vertically integrated business. So we grow all the grain for the chickens ourselves. Obviously, there's no real market or commodity for organic grains. And we grow which we feed to the chickens, and we grow the chickens. We process the chickens and market everything directly ourselves, so we don't use a middleman. So we're quite unique in that we're a vertically integrated business, and we've focused on quality, and we've just grown from there. Yeah.
What have some of the challenges been in being able to get the support of the market behind you as you're growing a brand awareness?
Yeah, well, one of our biggest challenges has been differentiating ourselves in the market. The New Zealand chicken industry has only 4 big producers, and they market their chickens under about 12 different brands. And this creates a lot of confusion about what free range is and how the chickens are grown. And we've popped up. We're marketing our chickens as the real deal free range. And I suppose standing out from the pseudo free range that's the standard has been the real challenge. And I think as time's gone by and we've shown our chicken farm and that's what's really given us the cut for it. And awards like this have been amazing. So that's why we're so stoked to win this one. This is our biggest achievement.
I've actually found a lot of interest in following the egg industry on the different classifications of what actually everything means, from farm raised to barn raised to free range to cage free to all that. But could you explain to us, the sort of density of the chickens in sheds comparison of what some have called free range to what you actually do in terms of organic free range?
Yes, so we follow the organic standard. and that's very, very strict, and that has very definite, definite rules on how many chickens were allowed inside the chalet, the huge area that the chickens have to roam in. They have to roam under trees and cover. Whereas conventional free range, there is no regulation at all to be able to claim free range. Is all that you have to do is satisfy any Fair Trading Act query that you have, in fact, any area that the chickens can roam outside. So a conventional free range chicken and a non-free range chicken are grown in exactly the same size sheds, and the only difference is that they sometimes have a pop hole every 50 metres or whatever down the shed where a chicken could go outside with a small outside area, and that's enough for these big companies to be able to claim free range. And they grow these chickens really, really fast, probably twice as fast as our chickens.
So what's the sort of average time frame between, to slaughter of a conventional compared to yours in terms of the term you use is slow raised?
Yes. So I think the conventional chickens do their first cut through the shed within as soon as 28 days. Whereas our chickens, we aim for about 8 weeks. And that's by growing the chickens. We grow the chickens slower, so we feed them a lower protein diet and grow them at their more natural rate. And this gives the meat a lot more time to form. And it also gives the chickens a longer, happier life, which is also a great story.
I am looking forward to having my own chicken chalet soon. I'm just wondering about the particular breed, if there's anything specific that you've chosen to use. You said your brother went over to France.
Yes. Well, at the moment in New Zealand, we can only get one breed, so our chickens are the same breed.
Okay.
And they're it's called the Cobb breed, and it's supplied to us from a hatchery in Huntley. But we do have ambitions one day to grow a slow growing, an all entirely new breed, which will be a slow growing breed. Yeah.
And of course, very interesting about the fact that they roam around the apple orchard, Bostock. So, of course, the name associated heavily with apples in Hawke's Bay. Does a Granny Smith make difference to taste?
So the taste of the chickens?
Yes.
We've tried. Well, the chickens that happen to be around when the Granny Smiths are falling. They do peck at them and eat them, and they eat the bugs and the grass that are around. But we also feed them the organic grains and stuff. So I don't quite know if they're eating quite enough Granny Smiths to be able that we can quite be able to claim it as a Granny Smith chicken. But that would be great.
Hey, no, I asked that. It might seem like a very silly blonde question, but it's not. I had someone said they wanted to do a trial on lamb grazed on mint, just to see if we had a difference in taste there, George. But no, of course, it's a fantastic biodiversity story. And your father, John, has been heavily involved in the Hawke's Bay GE-free movement that has seen Hawke's Bay become accredited. How much do you think, I'm speaking now probably at a macro level, and you're so in touch with your market, do we need to really listen to what the consumer wants over what we deem as our ideal farming practices?
Yes, well, without being too divisive, I think it's a really, really unique position that New Zealand is in, and there is a huge market out there for GE-free products. New Zealand is in such a unique position to be able to fill that demand that I think it is definitely a good. We shouldn't jump on the GE wagon without really carefully looking at it, because it's a truly remarkable monopoly that New Zealand as a whole has.
I just see here from today's announcement that we're talking to George Bostock, if you've just joined us, from Bostock Chicken, who's taken out the winning prize in the Outstanding New Zealand Food Awards. Fern Glen Farms is in there for their People's Choice of Pure Sheep Milk. And again, another young, inspiring person coming through. George, what would be your parting advice to people, I'm assuming in their 20s, that want to just have a go and get amongst this value-added products and getting people behind you to support you on your business journey?
Just my advice would be go for it, and don't Just do it the way that you think it should be done. You don't necessarily have to listen to the norm.
Great advice. Great advice and a great way to be able to end tonight's show. That has been George Bostock joining us out of Hawke's Bay. Thank you again and congratulations on all of us watching from around the world, George. So expect those export orders to start rolling in for the Bostock organic chicken.
This is Sarah's Country.